All right, I'm going to give you a movie description and then you'll have to guess what movie I'm talking about. Okay. And I'm sure you've seen it. A British spy teams with a beautiful agent to battle a terrorist and a businessman bent on world domination. And it's a movie in action and adventures. You guessed it, right? Of course. Because James Bond is one of the biggest brand in the world. Code name 007. So James Bond, is a British service secret agent who was created in 1953. 1953! It's been going on for decades. It's amazing. And James Bond, although Sean Connery is my favorite, James Bond doesn't need to be one person. James Bond has been portrayed by so many, I don't want to forget Pierce over here, by so many different actors, and it's always the same brand. So there's the suit, right? So you always have the look, of course. So that's an element that portrays that brand. Of course, the Bond girls, right? So there will be beautiful women, there will be the Bond girls. That's a part of that brand, and you expect it. What else do we expect in a James Bond movie? A fast car. Of course, there will be cars. There are so many different James Bond cars. And not only they'll be fast, and there will be a pursuit, there will be a moment where the car goes really fast, but there's all the gadgets, right? So there's all these things that this car can do. And let's talk about the gadget. Of course, there's other stuff. Right, so there's little Nelly. There's always the watch that does something. So Q is always part of the movie with all these gadgets. Q can be portrayed by many different actors as well. Who else is always in the movie? Of course, there will be villains. So we always expect in a James Bond movie that there will be a villain, and they're more villain than every time. Like they always come up with these amazing actors to portray these villains. Who else is always in the movie? M. M is always in the movie. And who else? Moneypenny. Of course, there's always a Moneypenny in the movie. What else do we expect in the James Bond movie? We expect explosions. There will be explosions for sure. There will be stunt. There will be a whole bunch of different things. So this is a stuntman actually coming out. All these are more likely stunts that are portrayed by the stuntman. So it's incredible, and we expect that in a James Bond movie, that there will be stunts, there would be fights, there would be moments where you're like, really? Like, this can't be. And we know that it's just a stunt. We don't know how they do it. This is just a cool image where we see him in the stunt, with his stunt. Now, there will be, what's one more thing about the James Bond brand that we know is there, and they go right into the details. The James Bond martini, right? Of course, the martini has got to be part of the show. And what do we know specifically about the martini? Shaken, not stirred. So whatever it is, whichever one is your favorite Bond, it doesn't matter. We know what to expect. And when I started this, I just gave you a description and you knew right away what movie I was talking about. It's impressive. How would you like your brand to be recognized just like that? How would you like, what is always present in your brand? Or when people talk about you, what do they say? Because a brand really, what's behind it is what people say about you when you're not there. So what do we say about the James Bond movies? And I just pulled up a few things, and it was very easy to find all these on the web because it's such a big brand. What are people saying about you when you're not there? So I would like to ask for your help because I'm building my brand myself. And I would like the Think Yourself Academy brand to be recognized. So one of the things that I've done in the years is trying to stay consistent with Think Yourself. So Think Yourself Confident, Think Yourself a Tech Pro. So I have all this tech pro, there's the kids program, the Think Yourself Positive for children. Think yourself a business pro, think yourself relationship pro, wealthy, a sales pro, successful, thin, coach, healthy. So I'm trying to stay consistent with my brand when I come up with new product. Another thing that everywhere I go, whichever topic I'm talking about, you know that I'm going to be talking about the personal assistant for sure. Let's talk about the other parts of the brand that are very more superficial, but I still try to make an effort. So when we present live event like we used to, we would always make an effort to wear the same thing. So I remember Mo and I, somebody actually, one of our participant in our session captured us in the bathroom at the convention center and sent me this picture after, because she said, I knew to go to the bathroom because I was expecting for you to be wearing a special outfit. And she was right. So we always try to match our outfit, but this is not exactly what I'm asking you help for. I would like you to tell me, when you see the Think Yourself Academy brand, when you see me come up on a post or on social media or at an event that I'm presenting, what are you expecting? So I would like you to write to me, respond to this post, respond to my blog, respond to my newsletter, and tell me what else. What do you say behind my back? What do you say when I'm not there? What do you expect when you see the Think Yourself Academy brand? I really would love your help. It would really help me build on to giving you more of what you expect. Because what if there was a James Bond movie where all of a sudden there was no fast car, or there was no bomb girl, or there was no, we would be disappointed, right? Just like going to a concert and then the band doesn't play your favorite song. So what do you expect from me? And I would be happy to read what you have to say, and what do you expect from the Think Yourself Academy brand? And I'm hoping that somehow somebody's going to say that you expect confidence, because I would like to think that I'm a confidence expert. That's how I portrayed myself, confidence and clarity. So hopefully somebody comes up with that. So please let me in the scoop. So what do you say about the Think Yourself Academy brand behind my back when I'm not there? So please help me, give me a hand here. I'm building, I'm still, hopefully one day people will recognize the Think Yourself Academy brand. And some of you might already expect something, and please share with me. And if you are an entrepreneur, do that same exercise and ask people around you, ask people that are following you, what do they expect from you? What is your brand? Let them tell you what they think it is. I'm looking forward to reading all your comments and your answers.